It's also on my playlist releases. Long story, short story. This song is a cover of the song I will make you listen after, and I just decided to cover the chorus of the original song. But first, let's listen to the original. Well, basically, here was the song. So, what's your opinion about it? Well, I think I know already the opinion of the people who are in the chat, but well, let's talk. Let's talk. I'm going to put the original right now for people who might arrive right now on the stream and who are not knowing either my version or my version and not the original one. Let me find it. I'm going to put it right now. It's coming. At any moment, it's coming. Well, yeah, for the story, waiting for it to charge. For the story of the wheel of the jars, I think we'll make it another time. Because, well, as I'm going just to say 1 hour, like last time 2 hours was really short and we made a lot and we didn't finish at all, but like 2 hours is like the minimum that we have to do for this kind of concept, because if not, well, it's impossible to explain some stuff and show some stuff. For the story, I've continued to work a bit on the track of last week. Of course, I'm going to release it in a free download. I won't I don't want to send it to a label, this one, because as we made it like for this concept and everything, I think also it's better to make it for free. And at the moment I will release it. I will release also the replay of the show we made together to show like also the making of the track. So here it is basically. So yeah, next time when we have more time, we will make a roll of the wheel of the jars to try to make something else, basically. Let me find. Now I found the music, so let's listen to the original version and you're going to see just which part I've used. Here we go. So, from a song of Natalie Cardone, Hasta Siempre. True, same title, of course, it's a cover. I'm not going to call it another name.
Aprendimos a quererte desde la histórica altura donde el sol de tu bravura le puso un cerco a la muerte. Aquí se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia, comandante Che Guevara. Hey.
Well, basically here it is. Of course you recognize I think which part of the song I've used. I've just used the chorus that all the song is beautiful, the chorus, the melodies, everything is beautiful basically. So now it's time to show you a bit how I've made my cover. How is a bit the session, like what I use, which instruments do I made what. So the time of opening live, let's talk a bit about some news. Be ready for 2022 because I have a lot of projects for the moment. I have a lot of songs finished. Well, a lot. I have at least 2 songs finished, 3 more like producing right now that are going to be finished soon. I think. A new EP, some stuff on the side of French Kick Records also normally for the album they're going to release. All this kind of stuff. So many songs, many ideas of collaborations also putting on the table. I don't say more for the moment, but well, expect I think it's a year I never been such how to say It's the first year I think I begin it like this, like making a lot of stuff, because normally, well, I take more my time, or that's it. But yeah, be ready for before it. Well, I have, yeah, perfect. So the project is opening. As soon as it's opening, I'm going to show you everything. So yeah. And waiting for it to charge. Yeah, for the people who might see this in replay or here right now, don't hesitate to follow me everywhere here on Twitch, on the music, because yeah, soon, as I told you, I'm going to release some stuff. Here on Twitch, I try maximum to teach some stuff, like to show some stuff, some tips and tricks. I'm going to try most of the time to show you with free stuff, because I think it's important also between producers and people who are beginning to learn, that it's important that you share stuff, because well, nobody has become at the end. I don't consider myself as a super good producer and everything of the quality of like the most famous one, you know. But I think it's normal also, like to share knowledge, because nobody arrived here without having somebody sharing his knowledge with him. So I just try to do the same. So we're here for this basically today. Here it is. Here is the session of my cover of Hasta, Siempre in ABLETON. As you can see, well, soon, a lot of tracks. Basically, I've used for this song, as you can see, 67 tracks, even more, because there are some groups, and inside of the groups there are more stuff, you know. So basically, here it is, all of this session. I think because I'm watching all in the same time the chat on my mobile, I think I have some time between my live and what I'm saying and your answers. So sometimes, like, don't worry if I answer a bit late, because I think they're just super late. Basically, we can listen. That is the same thing that we had on YouTube. And of course, what you're going to listen right now, it's my mix done. It's not the mastered version of the track, basically. So same song as before, basically. I think first I'm going to make you listen to the kicks. Well, I have a kick here. I have a Frenchcore kick here. You're going to see it's amazing. Basically, let's make a zoom. Well, also for people who might be here or watching in replay, don't hesitate. Last week and 2 weeks ago, I showed how to make Frenchcore kick and how to make it sound a bit like at the good level, like, and a bit professional, more professional at least. Look at this wave, like, amazing. Let's listen to this part. Amazing, really amazing. Well, basically, if you want to see, we have here our attack. That if I cut this, I have my attack, and basically the rest of the kick is bass. So here is the first kick. I've used different kicks for this song. At least I've used 2 kicks. The first one that is here, that is a new one. That is this one. Yeah, this kick. Basically this kick, like, we can watch a bit also the shape, as you can see, if we compare a bit, like, well, normally it's not a thing to do, you know. Sound is about sound, it's not about picture, it's not about what you see, but sometimes it can help and lead you to know if you're in the good way or no. And as you can see, well, it's, I think, to my opinion, it's a very good kick, at least for my universe, for my kind of song, because you can see all of this part here that is a bit straight. it corresponds to the distortion. So we have a good kick with distortion, and that is at the good level because the bass is at the same level as the attack, and this is what we want. Well, for my case, for this genre, it's what we want. For other genres on electronic music, we can have the debate and talk about it. It's different, of course. But for my song here, it's what I wanted. So basically, here it is. Well, let's begin a bit in the order. Well, I began the intro with some drums, some effects, some crash, some ride. After arrives the part of the build-up with some claps, always some cymbals behind that are building little by little the snare that is coming. And end of the build-up. Here is the construction, but also I have some orchestral part that basically are violin and choir. With in the second part some piano that I've added like to build a bit more the tension. Here are some vocals also that are entering like little by little in the build-up. Like yeah, playing a bit with filter and repetition, you're gonna see. Clara, Clara, aquí se queda la Clara. Basically, we are here. I've added some orchestral detail also, an orchestral impact with, as you can see, a bit of equalization here, because without is this, and with, you know, it sounds more deep. You know, we don't have these high frequencies. It's a bit shadowed, this sound, but we have more depth in the bass if we compare. Look, without, with. Like you can hear like in the bass, like I've added a bit more of bass also here, but like it's deeper and deeper, like this sound in the bass. So it's what I like. Well, here I have my sidechain part, and here basically the kick I've showed you, and some elements here, like at the beginning. What is it? Where it is this one. What's this part? Yeah, I know what this is. Look, and here we have some reverse kick that's basically easy to make. You just take your key, the kick you want to use, you clone it and you reverse the sound, and basically it makes something like this. If I don't reverse it, it's this. If I reverse it, it's this. Easy, but super efficient, always in tracks. Add some more dynamics also, like to the rhythm and everything. So basically it's great, and some claps here, as you can hear. With no much more things on it, like just a dry clap like this from a sample pack. Basically here it is, and here I have my hard bass, my super cool hard bass sound. That for the people who are interested, like I will show you maybe also one day on stream, but you can already now go follow me on my YouTube channel, and I've made a video on how I made really this preset on Vital. It's the same preset I'm using that I've done in the video. So for people who might be interested in learning to this, you can find it in my YouTube channel. So here was the build up, and after we have the first drop. So basically for the drop part, here I've used, well, the French chord kick I've showed you just before, and also this serum preset that I've made myself. Basically, as you can hear, it's an acid sound that I've made some automation with the filter, the resonance, and this kind of stuff. Basically, using some claps also here, some claps, some snares to make a build up. Here I have my French core kick effect. I'm just playing with filters and distortion basically. And I have different ones. Here is the one I love that sounds like a car that has problem to turn on, you know? Like you could use it perfectly like for your car that is having problems. Basically, here I have this. What more I could show you in this drop part? Well, after, like arrive the melodic part. Basically, I have different stuff. I have first my orchestral part with violin and choir. And trumpets also. Yeah, basically. The melody I've made. After this, I've added also layering of different chords. Basically, yeah, you can see here that I have two types of chords. Users of ABLETON that is seeing this blue thing and you don't know what this means. In ABLETON, when these tracks are blue like everywhere, in this software, you can do what's called a freeze of your tracks. Basically, it's to save a bit of the power of your CPU, of the computer, your processor, by transforming the listening of MIDI track in an audio track, but without changing that is a MIDI track. Basically, it's like if you're making an exportation in sound directly inside of your track, and as this is taking less resources to your processor, and you don't have your software beginning to have problems with the sound, you know. So here, little story about this. So two types of chords. Chords simply with the rhythm I decided to make, like for example this one. This one, and a chord that is more like an ARP melody, super slow, that is going and feeling also like putting a different rhythm and more dynamics to everything. Basically, so everything together. Basically, we have this. To this, finally, I've added some layering of leads. Easy, I've just reused the melody of the chords and made it to my leads, like for creating like a more powerful layering for when the kick arrives that is not eaten by the kick, you know. Basically, here it is. End of the song, well, of the drop, basically is the same kind of build up with the same chords and going until the break. And now the break. How is made the break? Like this. So, to talk a bit about this break, we're going to talk about vocal stuff a bit. Well, I won't show you how I made my vocals because, well, I'm going to give you some tricks, but not everything, because let's say it's my sign of fabrication of producing this kind of voice. So for the moment, well, it's not a secret recipe. It's not complicated at all at the end. But I won't show you every detail of what I do. But like to build in for the story, I've begun to produce this cover, beginning by this part, by the drop, by the break, by the voice. So the idea was like to, of course, make a cover of this melody and everything, but to make it like super kind of epic orchestral. So we have this orchestral part that is arriving super epic. Some different elements to make it a bit epic. The first one, the choir, like super efficient always, you know. After, what I just use is a piano to make it like to bring more tension, you know, like to the epic. After, I used like some trumpets also to add more stuff epic. Like always, it's just the goal was to put everything epic. So here it is, and the final stuff is the violin, and you're gonna see I made a rhythm of the violin to make it like super like tension building, you know. So basically we have all of these elements and in one stuff. If you have some questions in the chat also, don't hesitate to ask them. With pleasure I can answer some stuff. Here it is. Here is the base of everything. It was this orchestral part. Now, like, it's missing something, you know, this orchestral part. Like, it's epic, it's cool, but there is something that is not doing it. Like, it's missing a bass. So basically what I use, it's something, well, super done in electronic music, like in all kind of genres, but super efficient, is to take a saw sound and to make it as a bass. This one. Basically, well, it's a bass sound, easy to make. I'm going to show you how I made it. Basically, it's just, as you can see here, a saw sound with a bit of detune and with a filter on it to cut all the high frequencies. This sound without the effect of filter is this. I played also with a glide here, with a part of the glide, to make this sound a bit of the this effect of the sound sliding from one note to another. Well, and of course, to make it more deep the bass, what I did is to cut, as I told you, the high frequencies, and we have this basically. So we have this sound, we have some chords also. It's really epic. Yeah, thank you. Like, I try maximum to make it epic. Well, this part I was totally inspired by what Ken Muse do in their music, you know, with electric guitar and some break stuff, and so it was totally inspired by this. Do you hear the effect I've put on it? I put a filter effect that you can see here on Serum. I can't show you the preset because, well, I froze the track. Basically, I play with the cutter for the filter, and by doing it, like it sounds like a pluck at the beginning, and at the end, it's sounding more like a lead, like to make it also like a progression that is bringing tension. Now, I've used some drums also, some crashes after here, all this kind of stuff, as you can see here. After what I've used, what I can show you. Yeah, now the vocals. Basically, we're going to listen the vocals. Every time I make vocals, for my universe, I use two stuff: my voice and a vocoder. For people who might not know, a vocoder is not an auto-tune. Vocoder is use your voice as an instrument. It's working with MIDI and is working with a synthesizer that you have. Basically, imagine, for example, here on this sound, your synthesizer is this waveform. Well, imagine that instead of having this modulating the sound, you have an audio file, like for example here the case my voice. So my voice is going to make variation to this sound. So it's going to have the characteristic, the sound of this sound, but the variation and what I say through my voice. Basically, this is how works a vocoder. And these are the vocals.
Aquí se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia, comandante Che Guevara.
Here it is. Basically, what can I show a bit? Yeah, I will just show you these two categories to not go too much inside of the effect. Basically, I use two parts. My parts are just vocals.
Aquí se queda la...
That after, when I've made all of my cleaning of the audio, of the sound and everything, I'm put just an effect of reverb and delay. If I putting like all of these three effects, I have a voice like this.
Aquí se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia, comandante.
Here it is, how I've put the effect for this part. And as I told you, second stuff is the vocoder.
Y se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida.
Well, if you want to hear what the vocoder is doing, basically, this is before the vocoder.
Aquí se queda la clara.
So it's basically what I've made you listen before, it's just my voice with no effect on it. When you put after the vocoder, I decide that I want to use an external source to make my vocoder, because you have different type of things, you know. Here in, for example, if I do pitch tracking here, basically it's just following your voice and creating a synth with it. But if you want to be like to play with chords and this kind of stuff, you need to make it external. And here I'm using, as you can see here, the track 34 with Serum. Basically like this. And if you want to listen what sounds I use, here is the Serum preset I'm using to modulate my vocoder. And basically, here it is. So when we have adding all of this, we have this break. After, we're going to our new part where you can listen the melody of the lead. Basically, here it is, following the melody of the voice a bit. With this, we add the chords, also with a good rhythm. On this, we still have our epic stuff. Also our bass, always on it. And that's it, and still my voice.
Y se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia.
After we have a build up, oh, now we can see we have a melody with the piano and the choir and some violin. Whoa! Hello, Dodge Gabber. Launching a red. Well, hola! What's up, everybody? You arrive right on time for the drop. Well, we were listening to my last track in the ABLETON session of Hasta, Siempre. What's up, dude? What's up? How is everybody tonight? Yeah, so we were watching a bit this session while I was showing a bit how the part, like, yeah, me, I'm fine, I think everybody's fine, I hope everybody's fine at the end. Look, for example, in this ABLETON session I was making listen to this French chord kick, like in solo, that I've made. I'm fine, only need food and then heading to bed. Well, I think it's a good plan. I think it's going to be a bit of my plan also tonight. Like, it's not a bad program, by the way, you know, like eating and after to go to bed. To show something that I didn't show after on ABLETON. For example, let's take this French chord kick I've made for the track. So I've made it just with one note. So the note is here, the fundamental of frequency of my notes is my attack that is here always. If you want to hear, it's going to be, it's going to be this one. Wait a second. Can it be this one? So it's this, let's say. Here basically it's the same note as what we have in the base of the kick, that is this. So basically on ABLETON, if you want to change the note of the kick, well, either you have the method of printing in audio all of the melody of your bass that you're going to use with your kick, and after play it like this and like paste everything. Or you can directly cut in the middle, well, at the part you want, and here you can go in complex mode, for example, and you can change, well, the sound, the note of your kick. You can make it deeper, more low. Well, basically, and after you have to play with this, but it's a really cool trick. Well, first to either to keep it like this, for example, all this melody of the kick me in the track, I've used this method. Right now at the part of the second drop. Well, I'm tired also today. On the second break, I was showing also before, now that there are a lot of people arrived that might interest them, how to make a vocoder on Ableton. Well, first, yeah, thanks a lot for the red, Jude. Like, I appreciate it a lot. Like, thanks for the support. Yeah, here it is. Here are the vocals. Basically, if you want to make a vocoder on Ableton, love this way too much because it sounds close to realidad. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was, well, for the story, I've made the two tracks, let's say, with a little time waiting between the both, you know, like I was really in this kind of mood of making this kind of track with these sounds, you know. I've already produced some tracks that are like La Realidad that I'm planning to release this year. I have a lot of tracks here. I was talking about this before you all arrived. I have a lot of songs already finished, or a lot of songs already making right now, producing. Like 2022, I'm going to release a lot of songs, and I think good songs. I mean, not really songs to for the fact of releasing song, because, well, I prefer to take my time and release good stuff than nothing. So let's, you will tell me, yeah, need more unreleased to promote you. Yeah, I love it. I will send you some stuff, so there's Gabba, don't worry. So yeah, to go back on our story, the vocoder, basically, what is it? It's a plugin of Ableton. I think you can find it in many plugins, Fruity Loops also. Well, when the time I was working myself on Fruity Loops, as I was not using a lot the vocoder stuff, Vocodex, I won't know how to describe you super good how it could work the same way. But basically, without the effect, it's my voice.
Se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia.
Basically, and with the effect, of course. So basically, what I use is the Ableton vocoder, and you can use it in different ways. Like, yeah, I'm going to show, as we are more people, I'm going to show all the different ways you can have in Ableton. You have the mode noise, that basically is taking your voice and making noise with it. Well, for the moment, I didn't really find, well, to my use of Ableton and my music, the you know, if this mode is useful for myself. For the moment, no, but maybe some people are using it better than me and are knowing better what you can do with it. External, we will finish talking about this because it's the one we're using. You have the modulator mode also. All this kind of stuff. You have the pitch tracking, that's basically is going to find the melody of your audio and to remake it with a synthwave, well, using your voice, you're gonna see. It's this tool is a great tool to see if you're curious about yourself one day. Sing a melody, and if the melody sounds good and sounds in the right tone with this mode, you sang good. If not, you have some part of your voice you're not following the good melody. So it's a good tool to know if you're singing good or not. And me, I've used the external mode. So basically, it's working. Well, at the end, I never tried with another way. It could be funny. I've used it with this surround preset, this synth. Basically, so after I use the voice to modulate the synth, and is making at the end this sound. Ableton selection, well, it's different use, you know. Me, since when I tried, it's definitely better for my use than Fruity Loops. But I mean, no, like, I love FS too much also. It's my own fault, you know. Like, I think, well, people love a bit to make this kind of battle, you know, between softwares. But at the end, like, what I think everybody might agree to say is that it's the result, like, and if you're comfortable with your software or not. If you love Fruity Loops and you're super comfortable and you make great music with it, well, go follow on Fruity Loops. Me, now, it's Ableton because, well, I prefer let's say it's different methods of working with Fruity Loops and between Fruity Loops and Ableton. Fruity Loops, let's say you are more free to put, for example, your elements where you want. It can be a good stuff, but for myself, I need it. Well, in general in life, I need to organize myself, you know, because I do better things and I do the things with more efficiency. And in music and sound, it's also the same. Like with Ableton, at the end, when I create a track, I know it's the same instrument, the same audio sample that are going to stay in the track. So after, it's also easier, like to repair yourself, to know where yourself is in your session. But as you know, the software you're more comfortable with, you're making good music at the end, is the good software, and that's it basically. Yeah, everyone has its favorite though, you know, like some and you know, we are saying Ableton and Fruity Loops, but we are not at the level for the moment of saying like, yeah, we are on Cubase or on Logic, on Pro Tools, like we are on more difficult stuff, you know. Like at the end, you know, everybody everybody will find advantages of a software and say it to you, and might be true. Like for example, me, I know it's true. Like you can organize yourself better on Ableton. If you don't need this to work and to make your stuff for your creativity, well, perfect. It's perfect. So here it is basically. So I used the vocoder effect to go to this serum preset, basically. And something I never tried, we could try. Basically, you can modulate your stuff with everything. So let's try, for example, with the choir. If I put the vocoder with the choir sound, what it would make on my voice. Well, we don't hear a lot because it's not, but let's say, like for example, the piano. You hear a bit what's making the vocoder effect, like in external mode, like what kind of crazy stuff you can create. One thing we won't hear, but if I do the bass here, well, of course we are not hearing it because it's a bass, but you can put it really where you want. If I put it on the acapella, normally it changes nothing. Well, it's like a bit Inception, it's doing nothing. And basically that's it. After, well, let's put it here. If I put it, the vocoder on a kick, for example, and after we finish the joke. I have GarageBand and Logic also. That's why I have a Mac and a Windows PC. Then you can combine those and make different sounds, different DAWs, and then compile it together in the favorite DAW. Yeah, of course. Me at the time, you know, there are some, for example, there are some VSTs, some plugins that I can't use on Mac because I'm working on Mac on Ableton. And I have also a PC, so I've kept my Fruity Loops on the computer, you know, and well, some effect, some plugins, some VSTs of effect that I can't use on the Mac. Well, I made it on Fruity Loops. I export it, and after I put it on my new favorite DAW, you know. So yeah, it's a perfect thing to do basically. Mr. Unreleased Dashcap, yeah. Yeah, we're all Mr. Unreleased. I think one day we should create all together, like how to say, like a crew, you know, like a hardcore crew called Mr. Unreleased. Like it could be a really good concept, I think. And now let's try to make it on the kick, the vocoder, to hear if it does something cool. It's funny. Basically, here what does the vocoder. So we're almost at the end of the session, almost at the end of the track. So yeah, the rest of the song basically, well, for the people who might know it, is this. I have a group of orchestral percussion also. Yeah, the famous, I don't know, part 27 FLP. I think, but it's still too much organized, you know, this kind of title. Like, there is too much professionalism behind this. I think the best name of tracks, in Fruity Loops is when you're just depressed, tired, and everything, and you're just putting your hand everywhere on the keyboard, and it's making like like for example KJWAZ23. Is this kind. Yeah, I'm just rolling over the keyboard mostly. It's exactly what you do. But yeah, did you happen to you also that after 1 month, like you're looking for an idea of a track you had, and you're like, "Dang, it's super good. I need to go back again," and you're not finding it because you're just going through your 300 name like this with rolling over the keyboard. Always happened to me. Now that I'm on Ableton, I force myself to organize myself at the end, because if not, you I had problem finding this session of Ableton, because look, at the moment I began it, look at how I've called it. I've called it Che Guevara Remix. So the time I remember that I've called it like this, yeah. I'm always sorting the projects on date. That makes it done easier. Yeah, it's true. Always cool to have deadlines. I try to do this a lot, but sometimes, well, the deadline you put yourself is not going good with what you're doing in your life, also because you have to do other stuff than music. So sometimes it's not comparing good. But yeah, it's always good to put yourself some deadlines. Well, if some people is working, some people no. Always question of methods. But at the end, if you release something cool and you're happy about it, well, it's the most important. Last drop. Well, basically, here was the session. I think I'm going to begin to put an end to this stream. What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you like the concept for the people who are new here? I will show in the future other songs I've made, also other sessions. Here was the second session. First session, you can find it on my YouTube channel. You can look for Psychopack, and you will see the replay of the previous sessions. This one I will try as soon as possible, this weekend, to put it online on YouTube also. You can follow me everywhere, on Instagram, on Facebook. You look for Psychopack. On Instagram, I'm Psychopack Frenchcore. If you can see here, just under, I'm going to see my finger here. You have already all of my IDs on the different medias. Don't hesitate to follow me also on Twitch. I'm twitching every Wednesday from 8 p.m. With different concepts sometimes. Last week, for example, we've made a track all together, we made Roll a Wheel of Fortune, to guess which type of music we made. Also, I have some tutorials. I was looking for the words. Some tutorial of how to make French chord kicks, making some kind of sounds, So everything on YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, basically it's here where I put the most of the news. I'm also on kind of trying to think also, as I talked a bit about some of you, about making a Discord also. So yeah, to share a bit some tips, some types of producing, some unreleased stuff and everything. Not in real life following, by the way. You live too far from me. Yeah. And also, in real life, if you follow me without telling me, it kind of be kind of creepy also, Yeah, follow me on internet. But yeah, well, yeah, we kind of for, yeah, it's true. I still don't know where the vocal is coming from. You mean the vocal of the song I've just made? Or are you talking about another one? Yeah, I talk about from you, Dutch Gabber. From which vocal you were talking about, basically. And after, we will listen a last song to finish the stream. I'm going to choose it this time because it's part of my last EP and I like to play it, basically. No, Realidad. Where the vocal come from? It's an original. Well, I will tell you all the story of La Realidad when it will be released out finally on the normally when it will go out. I will make like a stream also to show, as I promised, like to show you a bit how I made it. It's an original. The vocals, like I've created the melodies. I'm singing myself. The lyrics, I've written them myself. It's not from a song. It's not a cover. It's an original, La Realidad, basically. But I will tell you the story. It didn't begin as an original, and it ended as an original. But I will explain you, and I will show you this everything. So yeah, just to finish, thanks a lot to everybody for having coming here. I can't believe like we are so many at the end. Like thanks a lot, Dashgaba, for the red. Really appreciate it. Now basically we are going to finish the stream listening to my last one of my last song that's called "The World Is Burning." That's part of my last EP. That's called the Adventist Network Chapter 1 on Freestyle Records. Well, yeah, for the story, Freestyle Record, that is a sub-label of Hardcore France Records. So super proud and happy to have released something on Freestyle Records, like yeah. And for the news, thanks a lot, Dutch Gabba, the word building. I think it's my favorite song of the last songs I've made. And for the story, and I will tell more about it in the following weeks or month, I don't know. I'm already working on the second chapter of this EP I've released on Freestyle Records. So I hope I will be able to release also with them the second one, to continue a bit the story I try to begin. So thanks a lot for everybody for coming here tonight, and we are now finishing with listening by my last track, "The World Is Burning." See you, thanks a lot, see you next time.
trees on fire, the ground is drying, and there's no water, while they are fighting between each other, just to know who'll be the best liar.